For a triangular prism, first if we were to draw the net or the flat version, if I peeled all of this up, I always think of it like a Toblerone bar. The bottom is a rectangle, then you have two triangles on either end, and then you have two rectangles on either side. Now the bottom and this rectangle, so the blue rectangle versus the red rectangles, are different sizes, okay? And also this red rectangle and this purple rectangle don't always have to be the same size. Right? So we want to make sure that when we calculate it, just like we did for a rectangular prism, I go front, back, side, do all of the faces of the shape. When I look at the front, the shape of the front is actually a triangle. So the area of a triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. So when I fill it in, the area is going to be base times height divided by 2. Well, the base is going to be 6 times the height is going to be 4. Remember, height has to go straight from the bottom to the top of the triangle, divided by 2. 6 times 4 divided by 2 is going to be 12 centimeters squared. So the front is going to be 12 centimeters squared. And then we look at the back, and the back is actually going to have the same measurement. So the back is also going to be 12 centimeters squared. So we're going to leave that one. The next side that we can do, let's do the bottom, because that one's still a little bit easier. The bottom, though, the bottom of this triangular prism is a rectangle. So the length is going to be, the area is going to be length times width. If we look at our length of the bottom, it's 9 centimeters. And if we look at the width, it's 6. So we're going to go 9 times 6, which gives us 54 centimeters squared as our area. Now, the final thing we have to do, and I'm going to redraw that triangular prism here, is we need to find the area of the right side here, so the right side. The problem is, when you look at this, they give us that this was 9 centimeters, so we've got this length here, but they do not give us this yellow length here. They don't give us that diagonal. They give us the height here, that's 4 centimeters, but they don't give us this unknown diagonal spot, so we actually have to calculate it. And if you take a look and we do a little bit of a close-up of that triangle in the middle there, they say that this full thing is 6 centimeters, this is 4 centimeters, this is a 90-degree triangle, and we don't know this. Well, we just learned that you can use Pythagorean theorem to figure out that unknown. So we got a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So if I take a look, and I'll redraw it in red. In red, I have a triangle. Now, I've got different measurements for the triangle. So my height is 4, that's great. What about this bottom length? Well, if the full thing is 6, this bottom length is half of that, so that's going to be 3 centimeters. So then I'm going to go a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, a is going to be 4 squared, b is going to be 3 squared, and c is the unknown. Okay? Most people, when they make their mistakes, is they take b to be the full base length down here, when it's actually only half of it. So just be careful of that. 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9, 16 plus 9 gives us c squared, 25 is equal to c squared. Now, in a previous unit, we learned, okay, c squared is 25. How do I get c? Well, I have to take the square root of 25. And that gives me the unknown is 5, which means if I go back to my shape, this angled region here is going to be 5 centimeters. So when I calculate my right side, it's still length times width for area, but now I have 9 times, and my width is 5, which gives me 45 centimeters squared. And the left side for this shape is also going to be 45 centimeters squared, since both the right side and the left side are the same for this shape. Now, they're not always going to be the same, so you have to make sure that you do them individually and you do a double check. Once I have all of these small areas, all I'm going to do is I'm going to add them up. So I'm going to go 12 plus 54 plus, what was our last one here? 45. So 12 plus 12 plus 54 plus 45 gives us 123 plus 45 gives us 168. Okay. So we add up all of the areas. We're going to get 168 centimeters squared because it's an area that's equal to the surface area of this triangular prism.